Hey everybody, welcome back. Our last objective was to meet up with Kira, who was getting herself into all sorts of trouble, so that's exactly what we're on our way to do right now.
Just in time. These guys get points for courage, but we're a little outnumbered. There's more than a few trigger-happy thugs in that docking bay. The kidnappers are threatening to kill Dr. Tarnus, but they might be bluffing. I'm not even sure they have him.
Bluff or not, the doctor is in danger.
So, how do we handle this?
I won't risk them killing Tarnus. We'll do this the hard way.
Then you shouldn't go in alone. I borrowed a stealth field generator from Agent Galen's office. Makes me practically invisible. I can sneak in first, then when you attack, I'll take a few thugs by surprise. What do you think?
That suits me just fine.
Great. Now you see me? Now you don't. I'll get into position and attack on your signal. Let's rescue us a doctor.
So there we go, we're getting introduced to Kira a bit more. Interesting enough, she's actually the character, or the companion rather, that you get at the end of this planet and story arc, which is pretty sweet. She's actually very similar to one of the companions I used on my warrior when leveling up. When I leveled up my warrior, I used Vet for the most part at the beginning until I got Jaisa Wilson, and Jaisa is a melee DPS very similar to what Kira is, basically. So I'm going to be kind of used to leveling up with that kind of companion running around with me, especially as a Jedi Knight, which is a Sentinel because my warrior is a Marauder. I didn't take the typical route of leveling up with a healer, but I may do that on this character as we go through. You'll just have to find out which one I end up using the most. I'm pretty fair. I switch out quite often between them, at least enough to give you an idea of how they perform in combat. Now, Jaisa on the warrior, on the other hand, is probably one of the more unique companions, because within your story you're able to change her to be either light-sided or dark-sided, and then she will get points, or affection points with you based on what decisions you make throughout the game. If you make her go dark-sided, you make dark-sided points, therefore she will like your dark-sided, like, choices that you make, and it's kind of cool. You don't get that with Kira, though. You know, she was doing so well up until the point when she got shot. I'm gonna have to evaluate her performance and decide whether or not she's a valuable companion to have around. And if I deem her unnecessarily bad, then, you know, I'm dark-sided. We'll execute her.
Ugh! Jedi scum! I'll kill you someday.
He sure killed my stealth field generator. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. Isn't teamwork grand?
I don't see our doctor anywhere.
We were the decoys. Now you'll never see your little doctor again.
Is that so? Give me a minute with this guy. I'll make him talk.
If nothing else, this'll be entertaining.
Thanks for the encouragement. Thing is, we don't need him to talk. Not when I can just read his mind.
What? Stop that! Get out of my head! Get out! The doctor's in the Black Sun headquarters. Solar has him. Just leave me alone.
Cheap thugs will believe anything. I can't read your mind, stupid.
You tricked me!
Smooth, Kira. Very smooth.
Black Sun is a major crime syndicate. Whatever they want with Tarnus, we'd better save him quick. Me and my security detail will clean this up. Agent Galen will want to hear about this.
I deem her worthy of my affection. I think that was a clever enough move, and just borderline dark side enough that that'll keep her around. She's good enough for me, and apparently I missed loot over here, so I'll go boringly pick that up before we head back to the council chambers or something like that. Whatever, the Senate area. It's the people in the big building with orange stuff all over it. See, this place. We'll go back here and talk to the Mon Calamari dude, who I keep assuming is going to say it's a trap.
Dr. Tarnus is the least of our worries, General. The stolen data files had details, not only on the planet prison, but every weapon prototype and research facility in existence.
Our most powerful experimental weapons, and Black Sun has access to them. How could this happen?
What does Black Sun stand to gain?
They could make a fortune selling secrets to our enemies.
We must act quickly to secure these other weapons. Where are they?
3 off-world research facilities. Minimal defenses to give them a low profile. They're vulnerable.
Master Kiewicz and I will split up and protect 2.
And I'll take the third one.
You get the fun part, rescuing Dr. Tarnus and the copied data files from Black Sun.
We'll be back in time for dinner.
Kira will stay behind too. With Agent Galen leaving, her computer talents will be needed.
She can be impulsive, but give her a chance. You'll make a good team.
She's rough around the edges, but I like her.
She struggles with emotional attachments, as many young Jedi do. Be mindful of that.
We should go. May the Force be with us all.
I'll escort you to your ships, my friends.
Before I go, I'm putting all my resources at your disposal. There's a special tactical unit in Black Sun territory. Experienced security officers who've been fighting those gangsters for months. Go to these coordinates. Talk to Sergeant Nidaljo. He can help you rescue Dr. Tarnus and get those copied data files.
This mission is too important to fail. I'll take all the help I can get.
I'll let him know you're coming. Don't underestimate the Black Sun gang. They enjoy killing, and they're good at it. Kira's on her way. I'll get her plugged into our security network before I leave. Good luck.
So the plot thickens. So basically what happens is that the thugs and the criminals got their hands on really sensitive information, decently sensitive, you know, like super weapons and weapons of mass destruction sensitive. So this is almost a type of story that would fit very well into like the Imperial Agent one, but I actually, or even the Trooper, but I really like that it is a Jedi Knight one because there's a lot going on here and there's a lot of nuances that the Jedi Knight's able to handle, such as doing mind tricks and stuff, which are always fun.
Corporal, get a Kolto pack on that man. The rest of you prep for evac.
Agent Galen sent me. What's happened?
Black Sun. They're not a gang anymore, they're an army. We were securing a perimeter around their base for you. They hit back with military-grade weapons. Killed 6 of my men.
7, sir. Joran's gone.
We're not equipped for this fight. Not anymore. We can't help you.
You're telling me Coruscant's finest can't handle some gangsters?
We've been fighting Black Sun for months. Now with new weapons and armor, they're unstoppable. Look at us, we're half dead. And they didn't suffer a single casualty. There's no hope of victory.
You men will do everything you can to assist me. We're going to the base, now.
We're going to the base now. On your feet, men. Ration your medical supplies and give some to the Jedi. The enemy has a computerized security network. We'll keep their forces busy while you take it out. Once it's down, we'll make a frontal assault and clear a path for you.
You'll do your jobs, no matter the cost.
We'll fight to the last man. You have my word. Take this. We'll see you inside the base.
Speaking of Jedi mind tricks, I got to do one right there. It's really fun to be able to do that. It makes me feel very evil. Like, I could do it for good, but I tend to do it for evil. I mean, I guess that's the good thing about being a Dark-Sided Jedi. Speaking of which, you may have noticed, or at least the astute of you would have noticed, that my eyes on my character have gone from being yellow to red. And that is because I've reached the Dark-Sided Tier 1. As you go through the dark side, you get these Sith corruption options that pop up on your character. It starts out with red eyes and continuously grows into looking more and more like the Emperor, more pale, more evil, more veins popping out of your cheeks and whatnot, which is pretty gross. But I mean, it works for being dark-sided if you want to really play through the character. Now, as far as me deciding whether or not I want to use this, I didn't actually realize, even though it's my own character, that my eyes were red instead of yellow until I think halfway through Nar Shaddaa or something like that. So I ended up switching it later on. But my thought is maybe, because I don't like the Sith corruption, I don't like the way it looks on the characters, it makes them look quite silly, but maybe if we get to a point in the story where there's a major dark-sided choice that I make, like maybe I murder like a Jedi Knight, right, or something like that. If there's ever something like that arises, then maybe I'll change it and put it on, right? So I'm leaving that up for you guys to find out whether or not that happens, but it may add a bit more dynamic. Like in my head I'm thinking it may add a bit more dynamic to the character, seeing that visually I just made a really bad decision, and whether or not I can reverse it is another thing, but we'll see how I'm able to roleplay that if I do it at all. It's something that could be very interesting, because my gear doesn't change at all in the story, right? You see it right now. This is pretty much my gear all the way through, simply because I really like the look of the Legacy gear. It's easy to level with, you just keep modding it out. It's the same thing I did with my Agent. It works really well all the way to 50. Even then at 50 you could just put your mods into it and keep using it, but it's old by then. So maybe one way of having a dynamic character change throughout the story, as far as visuals go, are by changing the dark-sided corruption thing, the Sith corruption or not. But the argument against that is you guys can get attached to a character that you know what they look like, even if there are just subtle changes. So I'm debating whether or not to have done that or to have not done that based on what you guys see later on in the story, but we'll see what my decision was in the heat of the moment. Maybe I change it, maybe I don't. But either way, I quite like the fact that it's there, even if I don't like the look of the Sith corruption. Like I said, it just makes your character look a little silly. But if they fix it, then maybe it'll be something I use in the future a bit more of, but who knows. Let's get there first. Let's get all my dark-sided points. Let's go do more evil things, and we'll see whether or not I look like the Emperor or not at the end of my story.
Tarnus, we risked everything for you. Stealing those data files, faking your kidnapping. This is how you repay us?
You were compensated with enough weapons and armor to make Black Sun invincible.
Invincible? There's a Jedi carving up my base! This is your fault. We never should have trusted a Sith.
If a Jedi has come for you, Solar, it wasn't my doing.
Your own people gave you up, not Tarnus.
How predictable. I have no time for this nonsense. Finish a pointless battle. Coruscant's fate is already sealed.
Surrender, you scum! We got you surrounded!
Shoot them all! Do it now!
Yeah, that was a rash decision. I don't think going back on that to just attack them like that, I probably wouldn't have done it. I'm thinking I may have overdone some dark-sided choices, but once again, I'm just trying to level up my dark-sided points. That way I can have Sith corruption customizations.
Lost near everyone, but Salar's dead, and the Black Sun base is in ruins.
Your men made excellent shock troops.
We did what we had to. There aren't enough of us to hold this base. Black Sun reinforcements are coming.
There you are. We intercepted Salar's holocall to Tarnus. Can't believe he's a Sith. But that's not the worst news. The Planet Prison prototype here at the lab? A fake. Tarnus stole the real Planet Prison.
Tarnus has been playing us from the start.
Playtime's over. Let's find that traitor. We need you back at the Senate Tower. Kira out.
Sounds like your work is just starting. We won't hold you up. Goodbye, Jedi.
So there we go. We're introduced to the evil Sith Lord of this planet that I have to go and defeat. But maybe I won't defeat him. Maybe I'll side with him. We'll see.